He's an addict for the booty. That's why he had to keep consistently cheating on his wife. If somebody's family home was in this much of a disarray, how in the world would you be taking credible advice from a man like that? Like, he was aware of the ability he had to manipulate his partner and then literally irreparably damage her.
Alright, y'all, so today we're going to unfold the rocky relationship between Denia Jackson and Derrick Jackson. Yes, I'm going to drag the unfold thing. We're going to find something that sticks, okay? If you don't live in a cave or you don't live on the rock, you probably know about Derrick Jackson's adultery and you know about the helmet of salvation. So now,
adultery and infidelity.
Look like Jaquan been working
infidelity. Anyways, yeah, you probably know about the adultery, the infidelity, the helmet of salvation. Now, finally, we're getting more information from Denia Jackson herself.
She came out on an interview basically talking about the aspects of the relationship, what happened to her throughout the process, how it started, how it ended. Basically, the psychological damage she basically suffered because of this man, honestly. How she basically got played for a fiddle her entire time frame there. There's just a lot of interesting takes that popped up. Like what she was doing to try to keep the relationship working, all this self-doubt. She was even trying to imitate the people he was cheating on her with in order to keep him secured at the home. But nothing was never enough for him. It's just sad to hear that breakdown of herself.
Yeah, so she says all that and more in the interview about a show. We're not going to show the entire interview because it's like 2 hours long. But the comedian Ryan Davis put a nice little clip together about the interview, so we're going to use that for our video today. What we got here? What we got going on? Hold up. What happened?
Hi, Queen.
I'm completely blown away by this man. Blown away. This man was able to inspire millions of women all over the world to have some self-worth. And he built several women's self-esteem all over the world, all the while tearing down the very woman he shared vows with inside of his home who bore his children. While I watched the interview, I just kept watching and watching it, and I couldn't help but notice that all of the stuff she was saying about Derrick Jackson tearing her down in the house could have been avoided if she paid less attention to Derrick Jackson in the home and more attention to Derrick Jackson in the internet. Derrick Jackson on the internet.
Damn.
And I'm going to stop that right there because when I first saw this is when I realized he was really speaking facts. Because he was telling on himself the entire time. I think the whole internet.
The epitome of self-snitching. Because here's the thing, to add to Dante's point that he mentioned earlier, what Dante's irritation with Derrick was the fact that he kept always talking about himself in third person. Because as you can clearly see, he split himself into two personalities. The personality that he portrays, which is his actual self, and that personality at home, which was the facade he was showing to his wife. And the personality he showed on the internet, he's literally a hypocrite. He's telling you about what type of man you should avoid, and he is the embodiment of that man. And it's just like, it's exactly what Ryan said here. If she watched this video, she would have basically seen this man is like, I don't want nothing to do with you. I want you to leave me.
And to add on to Ryan Davis's point about building that foundation and helping empowering so many women all over the world, right? Derrick Jackson pulled the equivalent of building everybody else a mansion while putting wrecking balls on your own house.
Yeah, I mean, like, and it's crazy though, because he really like changed a lot of people's relationships, perspectives. Like the stuff that women was doing during this whole process was just mad to me, honestly. They were just following this guy like he was the wave, and he was not.
Yep, and you know what's crazy? Because I'm looking at the interview go on. It looks like that's the beginning, and we know from what we saw, she still sounded like she was admiring Derrick.
Yeah, which was
like
pissing me the heck
still
off.
Stuck there.
It's terrible because remember we had that video before where we talked about Denia's denial of the situation, where you saw her like crying and everything about the situation, like trying to get him back in her mind, like she would not let it go.
Let's get back to the video.
Was trying to tell her about Derrick Jackson in the home. You know how crazy of a person you have to be to do that? Do you? I know y'all like what? I need examples, right? All right.
You know, like I had to let go of these people, and they're gonna be upset, and I'm like, I don't care.
Let go of what people? What are you talking about?
The women.
He didn't tell you that. He didn't tell you that if you come out and share, if he comes out and share that y'all are married, that he would have to let go of women.
He was saying that he had to let go of these women right behind the scenes. I'm gonna make the block hot, or he's gonna make the block hot, or I'm gonna make the block hot for him posting me after he's let go of these women because their feelings are gonna be hurt.
See, he couldn't be faithful, and he was confused about who he should be loyal to. He didn't want to hurt the feelings of his side women to protect the feelings of his wife. That's a confused man, but you thought he would commit. But if you had listened to Derrick Jaxn, he would have told you.
Confused men don't commit.
I know several women.
You know what's crazy? Because I remember a while back, I was looking for videos of Derrick Jaxn incriminating himself. I couldn't find. I saw that man deleted like half of his videos.
Meanwhile, every single video he ever made was the evidence of him incriminating himself.
Some videos, he kind of wasn't dogging men as much, so it was hard to like piece that together.
Because he knew
he said kinda. He said kinda.
In more recent years, he started falling back. Right. But trust me, I saw this man in his prime, bruh.
Same.
Prime. Like, he would not stop. Oh, gosh. It's horrible. I couldn't stand this dude.
But yet again, he, showed Derrick Jaxn just from the jump. And back to his original point. If she had paid attention and saw what he was about, she would have noticed. From the jump, he wasn't really trying to claim her because he wasn't trying to post her.
That's the thing.
He wasn't trying to lose his side.
This man was talking like he was the messiah of right relationships from the seat of that car, bro.
Yeah. He was lit. What makes that funny is the fact that he would be at the girls he's cheating on her with house recording the footage. This man is a mastermind of manic proportions. Oh. I can't. His mania is insane. He's the epitome of what a narcissist looks like. Like, I've never seen such a sharp male narcissist.
Like, bro, the magnitude of his delusion knows no end, bro.
And we see how Kanye is with his kind of God complex, but Derrick was really acting like he was doing no wrong. Like,
see,
meanwhile, he doing everything wrong.
I want to say Kanye also affects himself.
Jeez, man.
Like, he does end up affecting people.
Of course, but it's like you can see the diff. But Derrick, all those women in his audience was just following him. Like,
right.
Oh, man.
Right, that's the thing. He's trying to put this air out. Kanye is just like, I don't care what you think about me. I'm going to do this.
This man was giving you books of bull
crap. Derrick
was
was living a lie. Yeah, so it's worse. And we saw other YouTubers talk about this. Everybody says this is textbook narcissism.
Yo,
bruh.
Forget the textbook narcissism. I've been pointing this out. Ever since I've been having conversations earlier saying that it doesn't make sense for a man to dog other men. Like, first of all, if you hear somebody dog their own species to no ends to listen to them, that's a red flag within itself. How do you trust that information? All this, a man shouldn't be doing this, a man should do that, if a man does this, if a man does that. But words coming from a man like that,
I mean,
a house to going against a cell phone land, bro.
He was pandering.
Won't stand, I should
massively.
say.
You're right, and we talked about this in our like public figures video.
Yeah,
talked about low. If you dogging somebody so heavily on one thing,
and then you're the one acting on said thing, it's just like no one's gonna take your word as credible. Why would I listen to this man about relationship advice when he was literally cheating on his wife, who he is married to for years? Like, oh man.
But that's the thing. When you're so adamant about something, there's a reason why. Are
you all that passion?
Are you guilty? Like,
well, no. You could be adamant about something. Sorry for cutting you off. You could be adamant about something and really be about it. But for him to go as hard as he did, it wasn't even like every now and then he made a video or a general statement that this ain't right. No, he dedicated his whole social media career to making sure he pointed out everything that a man does wrong and what not to deal with, what not to settle for, what to expect, what not. Well, the whole shebang, just for him to turn around and do everything he said a man shouldn't.
Talking about himself the whole time.
Like, was he making these videos staring at a mirror? Like,
Steve Jaxn,
he had to have going to third person.
He was looking at have realized at some point that he's literally talking about himself.
Let's see what we got. Let's review.
How dare y'all have this?
How dare
us? That's evil.
Split.
Get those
time to do quick math, y'all.
The fate of the card.
Let's do quick math. All right, so while I do quick math, let's continue the video.
Get that off.
Men choose a woman from one of three places: their purpose, their pain, or pleasure. Pleasure being their flesh, they're just indulgent in sex addiction or whatever. They always got to have something new, so of course, you're never going to be enough for it.
Do you see all the head shaking that he's giving during that? You know that aspect of when somebody is talking and the way that they're shaking their head is the true answer? Like how he keeps shaking his head in a no aspect as he's talking about what a man is seeking. When in truth, he's doing that because he's trying to deny what he is, but that's exactly how he's operating. He's an addict for the booty. That's why he had to keep consistently cheating on his wife.
So basically, if he says out loud to himself enough, he could try to convince himself he's not what he is.
Look at his body language. Every single sentence he's saying there, he keeps shaking his head no, because he's denying what the heck he is. That's a problem. And then because he has to keep watching his own stuff because he has to edit his own content. You see what I'm saying? The man is straight up telling you, I'm a dog with everything that he does.
I can only imagine how he is sitting at the laptop like, damn, I'm really a liar. Like,
but you see, look how much bread he made off of that. That's why he never stopped. Because the media, think about it. If he was thinking of things from a religious perspective, which was a strong aspect in that household, he was like, God is giving me the pathway forward. And I got to keep doing what I'm doing, and deluded himself into believing this nonsense was correct.
You know what's a crazy reach, now that you said that?
Yeah.
That's kind of reminds me of Ludacris saying, why do the answer to the question they keep asking Ludacris, why does he keep making fast movies? And they're like, we're getting paid for it. We're making billions. Why would we stop?
Yeah,
it's the same thing. Why would
I stop? Yeah. Regardless of all the damage he's causing. At least with Fast X, I could just ignore that movie. It's not causing me any problems. But if I wanted to watch something that just goofy, I can go see that. But he's causing literal damage to his audience and his own home. His children are going to grow up seeing this literal conflict between the parents.
And the worst thing about it, the bigger conflict that's going to come out of this too, not the bigger conflict in the internal personal relationship.
Yeah.
But this is another example of people doing all these spiteful, sickening, disgusting things in God's name. And then now you want to preach God, God, God. And you want to turn around and do that. Now the people who's actually trying their best to live a righteous way and a holy way and actually do the right thing, people outside looking in be like, oh, you saying all this about God, but then you turn around and do this.
Yeah.
She devoted herself like this to God, and then this man got her over here looking like the devil played puppet.
Yep.
And then now, that's a bad look for people. And then if you wanted to actually bring people over to God, I ain't trying to sound like a preacher here, but then you got situations like this that make people look at the church and everything, and then people who's actually trying to do right.
Yeah, it gives...
coming from her background now, right? A bad look.
Yeah.
Because God ain't tell Derrick to do that.
Nah. It'll just it just makes the religion as a whole look goofy because of the people who are big in terms of their reach do all these goofy antics with it, honestly.
I want to hear more of Janiyah speaking, so I'm just going to hear another clip of her, then we're probably going to end it there.
A text message you saying he wanted a divorce. When was that?
That was September 29th, 2022.
And where were you when you received that text message?
We were both at home. He was upstairs and I was downstairs on the couch. I was like, I'm going to go home. I'm going to say, I forgive him for anything that I've been holding on to or has been coming out of me. And I did that. I said, I forgive you. Anything like that I have been doing that has shown unforgiveness, I forgive you for that. And the next words out of his mouth was, or via text, should I say, was, done with us in this marriage.
This man asked for a divorce via text message.
First of all, any and everything that you do when it comes to a relationship, if you're starting one or ending one, you don't start one over the phone, you don't end one over a phone. You do that face to face, unless it's like a I'm in danger, domestic violence, things like that. All right, I understand. Like keep your distance, do what you say. But in terms of like generally speaking, you want to get with somebody, you tell that person face to face. Or you want to break up with somebody, you say that face to face. That
imagine this. Because she says to herself, she's on the couch chilling. He's upstairs. Imagine he's in the master bedroom sitting in the toilet. Yeah, I want a divorce. Just that imagery in my head was like, this is the man
from the master toilet.
Yeah, like
you could tell he full of.
This is the man that they was all looking up to for advice and reasoning and how men should be, and then that's what he does to end his relationship with the mother of his children. That's what he does to her. Now imagine what he'll do to the next like, why? And anybody who gets with him is stupid as heck.
Alright, so first of all, I just want to say the level of disrespect.
Insane.
You already know when you're breaking up with somebody, mentally you break up with them before you physically break up with them.
Yeah.
So he had loads of time to think about this.
Years.
And his solution to breaking up with her, and you're right, years, because it's clear he wasn't that interested in her from the jump.
Because just like she said, she was imitating the women that he was cheating on her with provide more for him, and it was never enough for him. That means that's been going on for years.
And even then, she admitted in the interview in the college days she was just a nerdy, quiet girl, so there was no reason for him to be interested in her. Yeah. He probably was just interested because he himself wasn't getting any reaction or any play from other women. So he had time to think about this. And then that's what he decides to do to end it, knowing that's the mother of his children. That is crazy and highly disrespectful. And this is your guru. This is your preacher. This is your Messiah.